the Native Americans just, I don't know, it was sacred land for them. However, when it got into the possession of these colonizers, um, they used it for a trash hole, and supposedly this hole had been used for generations and generations, and it never got full. And people have apparently gone and tried to measure how far down it goes. Nobody's ever gotten to the bottom of it. So, it was one time this guy, so he decided to throw down a live animal. I think it was like a goat or something, right? And he heard it bleep, 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 bleeding all the way down, so he couldn't hear anymore. Still never heard an impact. Next day he comes back to the hole. The goat is on the edge of the hole. And except for this goat isn't really a goat. It's basically just the outside fur of it. But something pops out of it. Like an alien, right? It's this giant cyst-like thing that basically turns into this seal type of creature. It has like a beak, but it's like a seal. And I don't know, it would do things. Like you could communicate with it. It's not like telepathy or anything like that. It was supposedly like just like some pre-existing, all knowledgeable communication that every creature knows. And so it started talking. And it can heal, right? It can heal wounds and stuff like that. So this thing had a couple of pieces of ice with it. Okay, this ice, well, it wasn't like your normal ice. This ice burned, and it burned everything. So, like, they put it in its furnace, and next thing you know, that furnace went through the floor, and that entire spot sort of became a sinkhole. Wherever this ice substance is becomes a sinkhole. And so, yeah, this guy, his name is Mel. Apparently, he got kicked off of his property. The government came through and basically told him to get the hell out of here. They offered him up some money, which I think he took, but he wasn't supposed to come back. He came back anyways, and ultimately, lost his land altogether. And yeah, everybody's been searching for Mel's hole ever since, because the guy fell off the face of the earth.
Now, it is pretty interesting that you brought that up, because the story actually does thicken when it comes to this valley. Because, like I said, even though the science is pretty clear and confirmed when it comes to what's killing these animals, okay? But there are unconfirmed stories about the place that are still going around too. Like, some people are claiming, for instance, that animal corpses are regularly being removed from the valley, though nobody can really say by whom, you know what I mean? And another mystery dates back to the mid 1970s with Victor Derrigan, and he's a student of Leonov's, who helped Leonov discover the valley. And he says that Soviet military officials alerted to the valley's existence arrived in helicopter. They took some strange samples and then quickly departed. What did they gather and conclude is what the big question is there, you know what I mean? Like, why did they come out there, take samples, and then leave, and then never said anything about it whatsoever? So that's something that I found that was pretty interesting, you know. And it makes you think, especially with the story you said right there, and then this situation here, you know. I've also heard rumors that this is supposed to be considered a cursed area by the local Russians in that area. So
On the point of carcasses, I suppose it could be easily explained if it's an active volcano site. Obviously, you're going to have ash pouring down, covering the area, and obviously you've got animals feeding on carcasses and on corpses. So I suppose it's sort of fairly easy to explain.
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, I mean, the thing of it is, it's a pretty interesting place. Like when you hear about when you hear about this, you don't hear much about that. You know what I mean? About these harsh environments that are up around the world and stuff. So that's one thing that I really did want to get into, is kind of go through it and look at it.
Presumably it's very fertile ground, good farm. If it was made safe, it would be good farming land.
Well, I mean, you could, according to what I've heard so far, you could drive for an entire day and you'd still be walled in by volcanoes. They're hyperactive.
Well, I know many stories that come out of Russia about mysterious holes in the ground.
Well,
about those mysterious holes.
Yeah, there's tons of huge sinkholes up in, like, especially the Siberian area. There's tons of. There's some of them they don't know how deep they are, like you were saying, because they just don't know how to. They don't. I'm guessing they just can't find the bottom of it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's pretty deep. They've got a couple of them. Now, I forgot how deep is it that we can dig, actually, according to engineering. Like, there's only a certain amount of distance that humans can actually dig down before we can't dig any longer.
Well, if you're talking like over the horizon, a lot longer than us looking down a hole. We can't see without light. So, I mean, if you're talking about a hole in the ground, it's very short distance.
No, I mean, like, with mechanically, we don't have the tools to really dig that deep.
Some time ago, I was watching some video on oil mining or oil drilling, and it made a point of I can't remember, it was so long ago, but it made a point of that there is a safety standard, and I think it was a US recognized safety standard on how far you can go down.
Well, I mean, like we've actually got a record that's held by they'll call it super deep borehole, and that's actually in Russia too. That reaches 12 kilometers down. That's 7.6 miles. That's like 7.6 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the deepest we've been able to go.
I don't know, man.
Because of extreme temperatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta think about secret government projects, though. You know, that's just what's told to us. We don't know if these a-holes reverse engineered some spacecraft to go to the center of the Earth.
Why do you think government just
because
things like oil mining is conducted by private sector companies, not state-controlled agencies?
Yeah, but the government doesn't have to tell us anything. That's the difference. And they have
I think you've got a little bit too much, emphasize a bit too much. Emphasis on the government, on US government.
You know, they're always controlling our money.
It's got some power, but it can, as we all know, it can be corrupted by private sector interests.
you know what he's talking about, like
Yeah.
Phil Snyder and stuff, right? And you remember the stories about
Yeah.
that, right, Mark?
Oh yeah.
Like Phil
Mhm.
Snyder's claims that aliens had under-
Okay.
deep
Okay,
underground.
The Antarctic sort of aliens in the center of the.
No, this
I
is
was
this
thinking
is
of,
here. This is here in the
I
United
was thi-
States. Like
I was just thinking, what was it, Jules Cockburn?
yeah.
And it's in the center of the.
Well, Jules Verne. I mean, that was a fictional book, man. We're talking about aliens.
Yeah.
Let's get serious.
Well, that could be fictional as well.
You gotta be like that Sergio guy.
Yeah.
Aliens. You gotta have like messed up hair. You gotta say aliens.
Oh, Nancy, dude, freaking, she made a post the other day, like, she has this this interesting take on people when it comes to UFOs. You know what I mean? Like freaking ancient aliens. What's his name? The guy, the old guy. She said she met him actually, and like freaking he seemed to be an egotistical kind of a person, you know what I'm saying? It's like I got a kick out of it because Nancy's always, I mean, she doesn't hold back when it comes to that stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like freaking, I forgot his name, Eric Von Danken or whatever.
Yeah.
Daniken.
Yeah,
Anakin. Yeah, there you go.
You know. But I mean, it's like, and you know, I don't understand why when people have a hard time with it. Whenever I mention like David Icke and how they only care about freaking, you know, bums in the seats, like Mark always says. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really care about any of the stuff they're talking about. They just care about making money off of it. You know, so. I have been.
Michael Jackson said it best. Don't care about us.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say though, freaking David Icke has been doing a lot better in the last, I'd say, since he got his YouTube back on in the last 6 months. I'd say he's been coming out with a lot more serious stuff when it comes to all that. So.
I've been a bit and been well aware of Ike. I tried to steer away from him because he has been known, let's say, not to be. I'm going to put this nicely. Unconventional, let's just say.
So, with what we came across on coal borehole. Now that one is 7.6 miles deep, like I said, but they stopped due to heat, and that heat came up to 180 degrees Celsius in pressure, and they didn't reach the mantle. Now the deepest mine is around 3.9 kilometers, and that's 2.4 miles, and that's limited by heat support. Now the deepest oil or gas wells can exceed 12 kilometers, like the Sakhalin one project, but they're extremely expensive. Now, I do find holes pretty interesting, to be honest with you. Like, you stop talking to me about stuff like that because
What kind of holes you like?
I mean, I like all kinds of holes because it and I'm sorry, I am one of those people who believe that like the government is very interested in this subject. Like they wrote in deep holes, not only deep holes, but like these valleys, you know what I mean, where phenomenon like this happens.